Hi guys, yes, it's Tuesday. Oh, I forgot to switch that. It's Tuesday night, it's live, it's the Pegasus Show, and welcome in. And yes, today we will be doing a year in review. So, what was it like for you? There you go. What was it like for you for the last 12 months? Was it hell? Was it fun? Was it a mixture of both? But who knows? Anyway, we are here, we are live. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut across into the game and we are going to start talking about the year in review. And of course, as always, we're going to start with January. So let's just get the game uploaded. And, oh, hello, why is that on my screen? I don't recall doing that last. Well, anyway, that's, here we go. Oh, I got a PM, lovely jubbly. So let's just see, what's this about? Oh, okay, fair dues. Somebody complained, I'll deal with him later on. Anyway, so nice to see you all tonight. Welcome into the stream. And yes, it is a year in review. I have a nice full list. I did try to record a video on this, but I missed out a couple of aspects. It went on for just over an hour of recording. And yeah, I felt like, you know what, let's just do this as a live stream. So, how are you all feeling tonight? I have got chat up as well, so I can see you all talking, chit-chatting. And if you would like as well, I do have the stage up and running on my Discord, so feel free to come and join the stage should you want to. So, but, yeah, so, let's start with January, shall we? January saw, what was it, part 4 of Duality. So Duality was our Klingon arc, would be the best way to describe that one, which started in October. And we was introduced to Honor Guard Worf, and a number of Klingons were brought into the game as well. So just bear with me 2 seconds. What's up, honey? You don't feel well? You've had paracetamol, haven't you?
Yeah, but I really don't feel well.
You really don't feel well?
No.
Right, well, do you want to go down and see your mummy then? Mummy's downstairs. Go on then, close the door on your way out.
Okay.
Is the gate closed?
No.
Right, do you want to close?
Fast asleep.
Alright then, just close the door then, please, honey. So, just 1 second. There we go. Always a nice start to a stream. Kids have not been well over Christmas, so bless them. Hopefully they're going to get sorted because it's her birthday in just over a week. So I'd hate to have to cancel a party last minute. But anyway, so back in January then, obviously it was part 4 of Duality, and we was introduced to a couple of new features. Some officers, and notably a brand new ship as well. Now, to be perfectly frank, right, I'm not happy with this ship. And I've got a number of reasons why, and when I've actually nailed them out and done all the research and everything properly, I will actually I will do a video on why I don't particularly like this vessel. It's got some good bits, but it's, yeah, it's a big thing to nail down with it. Now, I know a lot of players have had fun with this ship. They've been taking advantage of the ship's ability, and they've been seeing some pretty damn good returns on it. So basically, after winning a fight, if the target has more resources than the available cargo space for the amalgam, then it takes an extra 0.01% of resources out of that base. So basically, it overflows your cargo bay to a massive extent. Now, depending on how much is in that base, will depend on how much you actually get. Some players have been seeing billions in pulls. Some players have been seeing millions in pulls. it depends on the size of the base. Usually, now, I've actually been looking at the maths on this thing, and this is where my sore point does lie. Because that says 0.01%. Now, to me, for every 100 bits of par steel, let's just say, we'll take par steel just for an example. I know it doesn't work out that way, but for every 100 bits of par steel, this thing will take one... Right, let me get the explanation right. For every 100 bits of par steel left in the base after your amalgam has filled its cargo bay, for every 100 pieces of steel, it will take one. It will take one extra piece of steel. And so obviously that grows. So for every 1,000, it's going to be 10 bits of steel. For every 10,000, it's going to be 100 bits of steel. So you get where I'm going with this. Now, last time I was raiding, now either I did my maths completely wrong with it, and I wasn't seeing that. I was seeing actually a lot less coming back from a base. Now, like I said, I need to do some more maths on it. I need to actually attempt to raid a few bases. But unfortunately, it's getting the time to actually sit down and raid them. I think it's going to be one evening where I sit down for a whole evening and just raid a base if I can find one. But there are some good aspects to the ship. And I will say, as it gets bigger, it could replace your Vidar as a OPC hunter because it's got fairly good firepower behind it, and as you can see, 16,000 damage, and that's just out of the boat. Obviously, coupled with any research that you've done as well, that can also help you a great deal. I've found that with the warp range I've currently got it. I mean, what does it start at? It starts at a warp range of 40 or 50, depending. I'm not sure if my research is attached to this at the minute, but it starts off there. My warp range at the minute is 110, which means I can get fairly far out in deep space and go OPC hunting in the G4 material mining systems. So, yep. Nice little thing to go OPC hunting. Yeah, there's not much else you can say about it. Now, it was developed by the Packlids, and it's just basically a massive mishmash of ships, ranging from Klingon ships to Romulan ships to be perfectly honest with you, I can't actually see any Federation ships in this one. But, yeah, so that is the amalgam. Now, there are additional things attached to the amalgam, most notably, if we actually go to the right area, was this area here down, following the red line to where it turns off, and then obviously the same from here to here in Klingon space, where they added a load of extra systems, and basically these targets were... In the Klingon system, there were Romulan ships. In the Romulan system, there were Klingon ships, because Duality was about the Klingon-Romulan war. And obviously, when they introduced the amalgam, they also introduced something called supply depots. Now, these are survey ships that fly around. Oh, look at that. We've got one here. And they are all Klingon supply ships. Basically, you're going to take your amalgam out. You're going to go blow these things up for these plundered cargo. And then what you do, obviously there is an XCOM available as well, which can boost the amount of plunder that you get by nearly 10,000%. And we'll show you the plunder, because obviously we need to go there. So what we'll do is we'll jump into the refinery, and obviously you're going to take it here. Now, obviously I've got 2 days left before I can pull this again. It is on a 3-day timer, which is a pain in the rear. But what you're going to get is you're going to get these little things here, which you can take to your recruit section, which I'll show you in just a second. And also some parts for the amalgam. Now, the Excacom, you're going to get next door to it. Doesn't scale very well between 1 and 2 chests. But the first chest, obviously 100,000. Yeah, okay. They really do help. There's no question about it. They really do help. And I think that's probably one of the best bits about this. And also you've got the skin refits as well, some projectiles, and the amalgam cloaking device as well in here. Now, like I said, you're going to take those parts that I said, you'll take them into the recruit section, and then you'll take them into this chest here. So here we go, amalgam refinery token, that's what they're called. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring them in here, and this is a laughing stock of a refinery, if I'm perfectly honest with you, because let's look at what you're going to get. So when they brought this in, it was the it gave us a free-to-play path to gain shards for Honor Guard Wharf. 91%. I mean, seriously, come on, Scopley, right? 91% for a single shard of Wharf. I mean, what on earth are you thinking? Right? So, pretty much every time you pull, you're going to get just a single shard. And then, obviously, the chance for a full pull is less than 1%. Gee whiz. Now, you also got some consumables. You've got some consumables which will mitigate the amount of faction reputation that you lose. So basically, it'll cut it down. Here you go, it's 30% on this one. And then also you got reputation gain of G4 and G5. Also, if you're still in the G3 region, it will be G3 that you'll see. Guaranteed wildcards. The refits. Now, these are all the ship tracker tokens, which will allow you to buy the refits back in the refinery. So it is literally going backwards and forwards a lot if you get it. But again, 12 shards is a 26% chance. Pulling the big one at 1,080, you're only looking at a 1% chance of getting that. So, but anyway, we have a chest available. Let's pull it. Let's see what we get, shall we? Here we go. So we have one on a guard wharf. There's your 91%. We've got a 50% Federation negative reputation reduction. We have a 69%. I'm kind of hoping that's a typo. And 24 skin trackers. Well, that's not too bad. 24-1 for a single chest. And there we go. And of course, the Romulans come up now as 70%. So, excellent work there, Scopley. But like I said, one shard of Wharf. So, that is the amalgam. Now, the officers we was introduced back in January was a group of Klingon officers. And if we can just find the group for them. And if we scroll down, we're going deeper underground. There's too much panic in this town. So TNG, here we go. Right. So the officers we was introduced to, is not Worf behind me, was Lursa. And then next to Tomlok is Betor. And then we have Biol. Now Biol, she is from Kittimer's Revenge, so she will synergy with Honor Guard Worf. Increases weapon damage by 25%. That's not particularly too bad. Mine is tier 2, so obviously just bear that in mind. I can't remember what a bottom one is. And then obviously she'll increase the ship's armor by 500% the total attack of a crew. Now, this is... Now, for those of you who remember that we have this triangle of officers, 3 particular officers, Marcus, Chauvenet and Kang, and these all do reduction against the enemy. So they're reducing the enemy's attack. They can be used in high level PvE, and they can also be used in PvP. So they can reduce, say, like, let's take Marcus, he's the most popular one. He does a reduction of shield deflection, if I remember correctly. I'm going to have to scroll right back up. Actually, not scroll back up because he's not there. I think he was back down. No, he's not back down there, is he? Where are you? Where will you be in the groups? Here we go. Marcus, section 31. So, what he does at the start of battle, he increases your shield piercing by 1600%. Now, that's his top line at top tier 5, and that's the total defense of the crew. So, now, with this new set, with the Klingons, he has an opposite number. So, if we go back to the Klingons, And obviously these were officers that was introduced before Lursa, Bitor and all that. Wartime Chancellor. And increases shield deflection by 500% the total health of the crew. So, is that the one? I think so, yeah. So Gowron will be his opposite number. And hi Knots, welcome onto the stage. Welcome up on the stage screen, mate. I see you there. Yeah, so Gowron is the opposite number, and what he does, he'll boost your shield deflection. So basically, is offsetting Marcus. So Bayal, obviously, she does armor, so that will be battleships. So that's going to be, she's the opposite number to Charvenek. So right, next up we have the pretty much a bit of a waste of an officer, really, considering out of the two Dura sisters, she was actually the one who predominantly led. Lursa, when the ship is cloaked, it decreases cloaking cooldown time by 30%. So basically it means you've got a chance to get back into a cloaked a lot faster, especially if you're playing hit and run in somebody's territory. You get out there. Officer ability is when attacking other players, she decreases the opponent's weapon damage by 30%. So yeah, not particularly too bad. Bit of a waste of an officer if you ask me, but then again, we do have waste of officers in this game. Now, this is the officer that you will use primarily on your amalgam. Behind the scenes, when on a ship that uses a cloaking device, Betor increases the duration it can stay cloaked by 20%. So basically taking that 5-minute timer and making it 6 minutes. So that's 20% increase, and obviously that will be synergy, but she is, and Lursa is the same, Pride of Romulus. So, and then obviously varied incomes. This is where you'll put her on your amalgam. It is specifically on the amalgam, as it states in the thing, and it boosts the loot by 14%. So this is not your cargo loot. This is the extra loot you're going to get out of the base on top of your full cargo. So taking that 0.01% and adding 14% to it. Not making it 14.01%. It will be 14% of 0.01%. Hi, I'm Matthew. Welcome to the stream, mate. Hate the mantis grinding. Oh, we'll get onto the mantis a bit later on, because trust me, that's on the docket. But yeah, so that's the officers that was introduced in January. So yeah, okay. Last time I used Beta, she wasn't much use for me on the amalgam. So, but I don't know. Maybe she gets some high level, she'll be a bit better off. So that was January. Now we'll move on to February and March next, which was the Rules of Acquisition. Yes, it was the Rules of Acquisition arc where we saw the introduction of yet another new ship in February, which, to be perfectly honest, I said I didn't think we would see another ship so soon, but we did. And that is this one. It is the Golden Turd. She helped me get 500 million when my alliance was raising up 50 plus. Was that raiding a 50 plus player? So, but yeah, so to me, this is the Golden Turd. This is the big brother of the other turd that we've actually got, the Devore. And basically, the way we got this one is you had to scrap a tier 9 level 41 Devore. Nice, $500 million. What tier is your amalgam, Matthew? So yeah, so tier 9 level 41 Devore, scrap it, then you built this thing. It was similar to what we had with the Franklin into the Franklin A tier 6. That's the same tier as mine. But then again, I don't get much chance to raid 50 plus players. So, but there, they say $500 million seems like a really good number for the amalgam. wish I saw numbers like that. I think my highest, yo nuts, I think the highest I've ever seen of my amalgam pull-in was a total of about 13 million. Yeah. So like I say, I will be doing a video on another video on the amalgam, because yeah, 50 trillion plus. Yeah. So that's my point. I mean, 50 trillion plus. So if you actually looked at a tier 6 amalgam, and that is 0.066% additional, that should bring you, for every 1,000, that should bring you 66. Yeah, I can imagine you would barely scratch the paintwork. I know I would. Even with ROM, I'd barely scratch the shapes. Hi Kay, how you doing, mate? Oh, Threthrin, Fisher, definitely not a turd, but I agree, the original Devore being a turd. No, I will say though, I actually do love this. Now, I hated it when it first came out, because the only thing it could actually do on its release was mine concentrated latinum. But the problem is, Scopley within 24 hours had to make some adjustments to this to make it slightly better. But then again, it can't even mine normal latinum. It can't even mine it. It's like, it's worse than your Horizon at mining normal latinum. That's what got it. That's what made me really hate this. But I've since really actually fallen in love with this a bit more, because the fact that this thing enables you, when you've got it there, and I'll tell you what, we'll go to mine. As you saw, it's got a mining bonus of 35,000. Let's take a miner. Assign ships, strength, survey. Oh, there he is. Assign ship. Now, mine's got the salvager skin on it. So, doing great, mate. Ops 46 today. Nice one. Congratulations on your biolum, mate. It's good to see that. Just as a reminder as well, for those who are watching the stream so far, I do have the stage up. If you want to come up onto the stage, please feel free to jump on my Discord and obviously put your hand up. I do keep checking it. So as soon as I see your hand up, give us a wave and I shall endeavour to bring you onto the stage. The first time I'm actually trying this one. See if you want to like join in as chat rather than putting it in text. Now, the Devore Fisher is an awesome ship as an explorer. Yes, as an explorer. As you can see, mine is a tier 8 at the minute. Mine's a tier 8. Up to 20k a day from my latinum pulls per day. Love it. Don't touch old latinum nodes, anyone. Oh, believe it or not, though, now I'm trying to think. I'll call you T. T will be easier. The one thing is, I still do the old latinum as well, because I still pull latinum from that. I mean, it's not an awful lot. I do the double pull, which gives me 1,500 per day. And I take it as every little helps. Yeah, so I'll call you T. It's a lot easier. But yeah, and that extra 1,500 still can help me with that's like 5 days worth of speed ups. So, but 20k a day, so which means you're pulling, you must be a tier 10 Fisher, if I'm guessing correctly. But the warp range I've got on mine, and this is one reason why I say it's a good little explorer, is 219. Now, bearing in mind that I do have the enhanced warp cores, so which means that's adding 10 onto me. That's at level 2, so I'm adding 10. Yeah, once every few weeks. Now that's good. That's actually pretty good. But yeah, so 209. That's enough to get you into deep space. G5 territory. Yes, that is enough to get to G5. And I'll tell you what, when I've done Grush, and I'll show you this on the map. So let's get out of Klingon space a second. We'll head up to Federation space. That is where I've managed to get my Fisher so far. And that is using a tier 4. yes, Tier 4 Grush as captain, and Cadet Scotty. So Tier 4 Grush and Cadet Scotty. Now, I have had a request made to do a video on crew loadouts. So I will do. I will be looking at crew loadouts through very well. So that has been asked. So it is on the docket to go, and I will also add warp range increasing crew to that as well, because I feel that video could potentially do with an improvement, especially including warp speed increasing officers as well, considering we've had a couple of extra officers added, which obviously do boost warp speed as well. But like I say, if I click on there at the minute, as you can see, I can't reach that, but warp range 230. So me adding Grush and Cadet Scotty to this really does boost its range. So up on there, you got 219. So what we'll do is I'm going to put the two officers. Oh, have I actually got the speed ups to bring him home? No, I haven't. So I can't put him on the ship. But obviously his officer's ability, fight or flight, increases my warp range by 12%. Now, so 12% will be a warp range of 12 added for every 100. So basically, I am adding 24 to my warp range. Well, let's just take it down from 209 to 200. That's a warp range of 24 increase on top of what it does at the minute. So put the 9 back on, add that 24 on, let's say 25 to be fair, and that takes it up to what? So 209 plus 25 is 234. Add Cadet Scotty on top, which is a warp range of 5, and you're talking warp range 239. Yeah, this thing's getting out there. So, I mean, that's a fair distance for it to cover, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm pulling the missions that I can. Unfortunately, now I've actually filled my mission, my archiving and active missions. So, yeah, sadly, I won't be adding any more missions to that anytime soon. But that was a feature added, and it was a fantastic ship added. I can't, like I said, didn't like it to begin with. I literally did it for the new concentrated latinum nodes that they added, and yeah. But anyway, let's bring in the officers that they brought in and go back to group. Always resets itself. So TNG, here we go. Now, we're going to have to be careful how the officers go here, because obviously some were brought in before, some were brought in February, some were brought in March. But let's start with the controversial officer, Fess. And I say it's controversial because he reduces your protected cargo. He was brought in February with the launch of the feature, along with his brother, Arok, and Quark. Quark is obviously not his brother. Quark was the epic. Fess and Arok were the rares. And obviously, if you want this officer on your bridge, curious what you need to go to deep space for other than just exploring. I mean, that's what you like to do. Cool, just be careful because there's only a limited number of missions that you can stop. Yes, I found the limit at 60. It's either 59 or it's 60. So, unfortunately, I've reached a point now where I'm probably best off stopping exploring for a little bit. But it's the fact that when I get that boost of a warp engine, it's just like, oh, I've got to get there. The only thing I haven't done is the original Borg space. I've gone onto those 3 systems. Is it Beta Sector or something like that? I've gone to the original 3 systems where there's the 2 warp paths to the final system, which houses an actual Borg cube you can find, which is not an Armada, if I remember correctly. I can't wait to get hold of that mission and do that, but I think I need to be higher up in the G4 area. I'm not quite sure where that mission is. I'd have to actually look it up. Locked at 49, unfortunately. Oh, bugger. Okay, so it's locked at 49, so it's going to be a while before I get there. But, hey-ho. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. But, yes, I do like to explore the system just to see what's out there. I am trying to find a G5 system containing concentrated latinum. The only system I know of so far is actually past Beta Sector, out in that corner. I know there's one there according to STFC.space, so In faction territory, I'm still kind of looking for one. Maybe there's one up in the next level of systems, which I won't be able to reach for a while. So, hey, someone's just joined the Discord. So, welcome to the Discord. I'm really thirsty tonight. But yeah, but anyway, moving back to FS. But yeah, I do like to explore. I just need to, I need to go around and start finding all the systems. Maybe that'll do a good video if I showed where all the mission systems actually are. I mean, I could add that to the docket. Just another video. But anyway, so yeah. Now, Festus mining speed, that feature really helps you with speed ups almost 350 days a week with a TN9. Nice. I like that. 350 days. I'm actually loving that one. So it 350 days a week at tier 9. Ooh, nearly a year for every single week. Wow, I can get through a fair whack of research with that. So I really do need to push it to tier 9. But obviously, I'm restricted by RNG for the parts pull. But that's fine. Well, yeah, so VES increases your mining speed by 55%. It has a decent synergy boost either side of him, using a rock and quark. And obviously we'll show you those officers. Now, I don't know why I've just come out of that. Next one introduced in March was Kath. She is basically your rare version of Talon. She's, to be honest, if you've got a maxed Talon, I'd carry on using her until you get Kath up to tier 5. That's the only place where she's actually going to surpass. Oh, I bet it is. But I mean, I've got a fair whack of trait. I'm not fun. I used the event store, had nothing special to. That had nothing special to buy parts. Were they? Oh yeah, they were in there. I think they were pretty crap. But I didn't actually go for parts in the event store. I went for a lot of other stuff, which I mentioned in the part 4 grading video. But yeah, I mean, I was actually shocked of how much we got in that event, how much catch we got in that event store. It was brilliant. So, but yeah, so Kath, she's your next level for Talon. I won't bother with her unless you've got a low level Talon and you're actually working on Kath. If Kath's higher than Talon, use Kath. If Talon's higher than Kath, use Talon. Oh my, really? Why is everything dying on me tonight? That's not what I wanted. My God. Right, so I have to pull that out of there. Cables. Gotta love cables. Right. The downside to using mobile phones. And that's not going to reach there, is it? Let's stick that there for a minute. And there we go. Save my bacon. Put that there. But yeah, so that's Kath, like I say, bought in March, which we'll discuss in just a moment. Next up is Arok, is the brother to Fess. Again, is another great one. Cargo bay for the feature at tier 9 is 7 billion trit. Ouch! Ouch! Joseph, you scared the jeepers out of me. 7 billion just for the cargo bay. Wow, I don't think I'll be getting to tier 9 very fast on that one. But yeah, so Arok, now his captain's ability is to help increase the speed of your mining. Wait till T10 parts. Oh my God, no, please. Oh, that's gonna hit me, especially trying to work on my Valdor a little bit. Wow, Scopley really does want players to spend the money, don't they? They really do. But yeah, so Arok, his captain's ability is to increase concentrated latinum mining speed. Yeah, okay, it's not particularly too bad, but I'm quite happy just shoving whoever on the feature and just sending that out. Now, his officer's ability is the one you're going to need. Increases minor speed by 25%. Add that with Fess's officer's ability. So now you're increasing your minor speed by 80% already, plus the synergy. Already, so you got that. Then you've got Quark. As you can see, mine's ready for upgrading. Let's go to that. So if you're using him as captain, he is a protected cargo. Again, it's effective with synergy. It'll increase it, so it can offset Fess's officer's ability. But again, Fess is somebody you should only use sparingly. Increasing mind speed by 80% as an officer ability, so tie him with a rock and Fess's captain's ability, and you've got a significant mining boost, not to mention the synergy also improved to work on Fess, and you will end up with the best mining crew in the game, period. They are the best. You can't go wrong. They will increase it exponentially. The only thing I've managed to find that is actually better than them will be the Borg. And that is Tribble Borg, full synergy on steel, titanium, dilithium. He beats the Ferengi hands down. But when it comes to materials, Latinum, these are you guys. Mycelium. Take a tier 9 discovery, level 45, can mine one of those little 800 nodes in 50 seconds. Put these on an horizon, 39 seconds. 39 seconds. So it kind of speaks for itself, really. That's a significant drop right there. So I think it's about 22% drop already there. So that's your officers that we got. And obviously, as well, completely standalone Ferengi, even though he's part of the Collinger, is your base cracker. He's a unique officer. Obviously, delays opponents' ships and defense platforms for firing for the first round. Yep, the first round. So it gives you that chance just to get in, smack the base, and do some heavy damage. He does have a counter in Crass, so just bear that in mind. And he does not synergy with anybody. You put him as captain, nobody can synergy with him, so it doesn't boost it, which is I think that's a bit of a letdown, in all honesty. To me, it's a bit of a letdown, but there it is. And then obviously his officer's ability, mine's tier 1, so when attacking the station, increases the number of shots of the ship's weapons by 50%. So basically taking that one shot and increasing it by 50%, so it's like 1.5 shots. So basically it's probably going to take you about 2 rounds to get that extra shot. So, but he's a great officer, not a problem. And apparently he's got some other, I mean, there's Wayun as well that was just released, that you can pair up with him and use his ability. But that's the thing, you ever got there? Oh, that's Badgie. We'll talk about Badgie later. But so that's that. Now, the mechanic that was also brought in, and I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was brought in March, was this. The Treasury. Yes, we finally got a building put on this slot, which started off as a big white building. For those of you who remember, it started off as a big white building. It was there for quite some time. It said you needed Ops 50 to open it, and it was, I think it was originally called the Black Market. So it gave us the idea that Scopley were going to bring something in where we could have a black market and trade with other players or something to that effect. But no, they tore that building down and replaced it with this. Now I've got to admit, aesthetically wise, that's better. That looks a lot better. However, those of you who remember in November, we had an issue with its new banner. Who asked for the banner? I really do not know. But, hey-ho, they decided to put a banner in. Now, obviously, as you can see, there's nothing wrong at the minute, but what you'll get in here is a premium pack. Let's not mince words. It is a premium pack from the App Store. It's, well, what they put in here is based on it, and I think Rev and DJ have been saying it's like the price times 1.5 or something like that to that value in this treasury. Yes, my treasury is full, hence the reason why it's not there. They locked it off. They said, no, it's full. We don't want anything else. So now the way to score in this one, basically you was given, it's a massive boost to Uncommon and Epic. Yep, it is. And the one I opened back in September, I think it is, that was a massive boost. I mean, that Latinum lasted me about a week. Got through that pretty fast. The next one I can open now will be January. Yes. For those on free-to-play, some of you got your second treasury this month, here in December. So congratulations to you who did that. And obviously had to put up with the problems of the fact that your deceiving rods wasn't working. But for the rest of us as well on free-to-play, you're going to get it in January. If you've been keeping up with the three ways of getting them, you'll get it in January. So, yeah. Can't wait to open it. Can't wait to see what they got. Now, the scoring was pretty simple. It was literally complete the final milestone on your dailies, which is that thing across the top of the screen. So complete the final milestone on that. Or kill 100 red dots per day. Now, the number of points that we've normally been given is based on either 7 days or 14 days, depending on how long they wanted the treasury to run. And your scoring was literally that, 700 or 1,400. And it works out about 100 red dots per day, or just one of those days. Or basically just complete your dailies. That was literally it. And you could, just completing your dailies, you could open this thing within 5 days. If you got the Decina ones. If not, you had to go buy one from the in-app store, which could cost you anywhere up to £90, or for our friends across the pond, $100. I don't know what it is in euros because I haven't got a clue about the conversion rate. I think it's around about $110, 110 euros or something like that. Yes, honey.
How long until I'm turning my telly on?
Oh shoot! I was meant to come and ask you to do that. I should have told you an hour ago. Turn it off now. Put your rocket on and get some. Right, come and get some.
Why did you bring...
I know I forgot to give you a drink as well. Right, come on. Come on. You need to be in sleep. It's 10:30. Right, kiss. Hug. Off you go.
Dad, why have you only got one head?
Because I only have the one head.
No, Dad.
It's sat on my shoulders.
No, Dad.
Oh, no, that's Saru. He's fallen over.
Oh.
Right, come on. Off to bed, please. Yeah, TV off.
What's this?
It's your drink from earlier.
No, but something different.
No, it's not something different. Right, close the door, please. Can you make sure you close it properly? Night, love you.
What if I wake you?
I'll deal with Theo. Come on, off you go. I was meant to tell her to turn her TV off at 9:30. Whoopsie. But anyway, so yeah, 120 euros. Okay, thanks for that information. Right, I'll come and get it. Or 99 in the web store. I'd always go for the web store. Literally, I'd go for the web store. To be perfectly honest with you, it's going to be cheaper for you in that way. Because I know there's some like exchange rates or something like that, and it's a headache. But yeah, so that was the way of opening your events treasury. So what we're going to see in January, I really do not know, but it'll be nice. So that is the rule of acquisitions in February and March. It wasn't particularly too bad. Only buying the store. No need to pay the extra for Google. Exactly. Google will always love to rip you off at some point somewhere. So I usually go to the web store to buy the battle pass. So, but yeah. So that's February and March, and that was Rule of Acquisitions arc. Now, it wasn't a particularly too bad arc. It was definitely something that really opened the game up a bit more for those who absolutely love to mine. I mean, one player messaged me, Bandit, messaged me screenshots of what he was doing during that arc with the Fisher, and he'd actually gone out and got up to 40. Yes, he's a spender. So, and he was literally nailing, plus you get the multiphasics. Yes, you do. I love those. So, but yeah, so Bandit, he was literally mining and winning the solo leaderboards. So, hey Alexis, welcome to the stream, mate. So, but now, so moving on to April. This was the month, well, by this point we were starting to wonder, are we getting Deep Space Nine? Are we getting Deep Space Nine? It'd been hinted to us in the October roadmap of 2021, but yet, was we going to get it? Because we hadn't seen it yet. But no, instead Scopley decided to release Lower Decks to us. Yes, Lower Decks. Not sure what to buy with. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we quickly pop over? So let's have a look. Multiphasics. So we've got a number of packs in there at the minute. Got Syndicate Boost. That's not particularly bad, in all honesty. An extra 570 per chest. You got a little bit of gas in there. Yay. But yeah. I mean, are you working on your base? Are you working on ships, research, your officers? So, but yeah. And then obviously, yeah, you got independent credits. That could always be a good one. Yes, you're only getting 155. It's relatively crap amount for 500 metaphasics, but that's Scopley for you. They don't like to do it cheap. Kind of working on everything. Yeah, same as me, Kay. I'm kind of working on everything. I've been looking grossly, well, not grossly, majorly at this one. I've really been looking at. I want to push the button now. At the minute, I can do it, but the question is, do I want to? Because I've really been reevaluating this video on the road to 56, and should I be really working on that? But I have to spend 25,000. Why 25,000? I'm kind of curious on that one. So interesting to hear your answer on that one. So yeah, just did Ops 46. I think I'll be camping here for most of 23. Yeah, I think, to be perfectly honest, I'll be camping here at 42. Oh right, okay. I have too much research to finish right now. Yeah, I know exactly that feeling, Joseph. I've got a hell of a lot of research myself, and I will show you some of that research when we get into June and July's. I was told by a person that Defiant cost Bajoran credits, but I just unlocked the blueprints only to find out it costs 55 diplomacy tokens. Yeah, that's what it costs. 55 diplomacy tokens per blueprint. So you're basically looking at, 5,500 diplomacy tokens in total to unlock the Defiant. Now, the problem is with that is it's on a 22-hour cooldown. So you're basically looking at 100 days to actually do it. So that's the downside to the Defiant. But yeah, it doesn't cost Bajoran credits. What costs the Bajoran credits is all the stuff to actually upgrade it. I would recommend holding on to the metaphasics till you hit a higher level. The higher you get, the more they put in. Some jump in value from 50 to 51 was huge with metaphasics. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. Didn't know that. But yeah, that's always interesting to know. But yeah. So I've been thinking about 43, but might hold off even longer yet. But anyway, April, Lower Decks. It brought in a new officer type, which of course was Lower Decks. Basically, filling up this section with officers that actually can do something for your ship other than improving stats. Now, we was given a load of officers to begin with, starting with Badgie, Balmer and Mariner. Now, I don't have Mariner because, well, I haven't sourced her yet. And then in May, we went on to Lower Decks Part 2 or Anthology, but we'll touch on that in just a minute. But we got Badgie, Balmer and Mariner, so we'll have a quick look at these. I'm not too... There's only the one I'm actually keen on, and that is Tindy. Sam Rutherford next, but we'll touch on them in a minute, just shortly. So, Badgie, officer ability, basically increasing your piercing stats against enemy ships by 15%. And then, obviously, where he really does work is below deck. And, again, increasing your penetration stats. So how do I get diplomacy tokens without a loot crew? In the Bajoran store, I'll tell you what, Alexis, we will be covering the Bajoran faction store later on in the show. So I will cover it then. So we've got more people coming into the audience on the stage. Excellent. So yeah, that's Badgie. Who we got next? Who we got? Is it... Okay, good. So he's not a lower decker. Hey, what's new? So let's cut into the officers tab again. And we're back on level. So why can't it just stay where I asked it to? Because it's a pain in the bum to have to do all this every single time. So why has it gone strength? I didn't want strength. I wanted group. Thank you. Here we go. So, Badgie and Balmer. Next one is Balmer. Again, officer ability. So you can put them on. You can put these things. Take care, Joseph. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, obviously, please do boop the like button as well. Now, Balmer, like I said, these lower decks, you can put them on the bridge, but do not put them in the captain's seat because they are not fit for command. And anyone who has watched lower decks, you will certainly understand why these are not fit for command. However, certain ones are fit for command on the lower decks. No, I'm not server 31. I'm server 134. I mostly use Balmer, Rutherford, Tendy and Beckett. Yes, now I've heard that Beckett is a good one, and putting her on the lower deck with Tindy really does help. Badgie obviously is uncommon, so in this day and age with the more epics and rares that have been released into the game, that's pretty much what you got. Just unlocked Beckett last week. I'm about 13 shards short, and obviously the Cerritos refinery is not doing me any good, but we will look at the refinery in just a moment. Hi, Bandit. No, don't worry, mate. So we've already had a couple of interruptions to the stream, but hey ho, that's what happens. So lower deck ability, increasing your penetration stats again. So obviously mine's tier 2, so it's a 68% boost. Obviously, no, don't worry, mate. By all means, here 192 is merging again. Is it? Ooh, that's an interesting one. Let's have a quick look at the announcements, because Beck did actually put out an announcement stating about the merges. No, it's not. It's not on the list. The servers merging is 151 with 143, 79 with 80, 66 with 67, 68 with 69. They are the 4 sets of merges that's going to be going on. Not sure when those merges will take place, but that's what will be happening. So that's Balmer. Sam Rutherford. Now, Sam Rutherford was released the following month, so we'll talk about him in just a second, along with Tindy. Now, Marina Beckett, she was released in April with Bulmer and Badgie. And obviously, she increases the attack of all officers on the ship by 5%. So that's not particularly too bad, getting their boost. Oh, no, trust me, I don't get lucky with pulls for Beckett whatsoever. You can buy Beckett in the Christmas store if you didn't spend them. Yes, unfortunately I did. I've got about 100 Catch or Sell White left. Starquit put out a video. No, I haven't seen that one. I don't usually chase Starquit's videos. I mean, I should do. But it's trying to get the time to actually watch everything. I don't even have time to listen to DJ's podcasts. So that's literally how much time I actually have. So now Mariner's below deck ability is increasing weapon damage by 70%. Wow. I've never actually looked at her properly, but that's actually pretty good, that 70%. Wow. Can't believe that one. That's actually pretty good. But yeah, so now before we touch on the other two lower deckers, in fact, I tell you what, let's look at them. Sam Rutherford, another officer released in May as released in May as another lower decker. I hope this works. Increases armor, shield deflection, and dodge by 35%. Okay, not particularly too bad, but his below deck ability is better. Increasing shield health by 70%. Now mine is tier 2 again, so just bear that in mind. Pretty good officer. And sticking with Tindy, yeah, you got a nice little boost there. Now Tindy, in May, Tindy was a free-to-play officer. Yes, very rare thing to happen that an epic officer is free-to-play. And how was she free-to-play? Well, it was simple. You had to complete every single SMS through the whole month, and there was about 25 of them, 25 or 27 of them, and gain tokens from each one to do the full 120 shard pull. And it's literally, you cash these tokens in, boom, you got Tindy. Now, when they originally did this, it was no leeway. There was absolutely no leeway. But for some reason, we ended up with a couple extra. So there was a bit of a leeway. It wasn't much. I think we ended up with 29 in total. But pretty much almost any player that engaged with the SMSs every single day for the 21 days, you was guaranteed to get Tindy. So, but yeah, so officer's ability when put on the bridge, health officers increased by 10%. Below deck, increasing hull health by 100%. Again, mine's tier 2. I think tier 1 was 70%, the same as... I think it was 70%. But she's fantastic. And what it does, it doesn't mix in with the stats. What it literally does is it adds it on. And we'll go back into the ships and I'll show you. I know some of you already know how all this works. But obviously, if anyone's joining the stream, they're not quite sure. It's awesome for them to actually see it. So, if we go to below deck ability. Now, this feature has got 2,098,000 strength. So now if we put Tindy on, boom, that's what she does. She, as much as she puts into your stats, she also actually actively increases your ship's strength. And Sam Rutherford does exactly the same. There we go. It's not as big as Tindy's, but it's still there. There's still a boost. Now, this is only a 24,000 increase. Whereas Tindy was what? Oh, I've put Rutherford back there. Where Tindy was, what? That's about 93,000? That's a significant boost. Now, it's not much on the lower level ships, but it's a massive boost on something like this. But yeah, you can't go wrong with the lower deck officers. Now, April saw the release of yet another ship, and this is where the Scopley started introducing support ships. Yes, ships that actually provided some help in combat through various different things, and it was brought in the form of the Cerritos. Now, there was two ways of obtaining this: the in-app store, or getting the first 50 blueprints from the premium line of the Battle Pass. So yes, you still had to pay for those first 50 blueprints. Sorry, just the way Scopley works. But you could get the 50 blueprints, and then, but what they did tell us at the time as well is the following month in May, we would start receiving a weekly event where you could gain 10 shards per week. Right now, to find the balance between officer stats, below deck abilities, if you lose too much officer stats, strength could go up, but actually survivability lowers. Yes, now that is actually a good point, Kate. It does, and you do have to balance that. So if your below deck officers are of a lower level than the officers that you are replacing, it might not be worth it on that particular run. However, as you saw, Tindy was a higher level officer than the officer she replaced on the Fisher. So obviously that's going to boost it, and it did boost the stats. If you did look at it, it did have a little bit of a green on it. So it was a boost there. So that's always good. But yes, that is definitely one thing to remember. So now the Cerritos, like I said, you got 10 blueprints per week. It ran only as long as you collected those 10 blueprints. So that was going to be a total of 10 weeks. So if you didn't do the premium line of the Battle Pass, you had those 10 weeks there to get this. Obviously, after you pulled those full 100 blueprints, that event disappears. Now, some of us have got, we noticed a little trick. What is your in-game name and strength? I'll show you that in a minute, Matthew. Yeah, we found this. There was this little trick. If you did not complete that final milestone, after you've already got the Cerritos, so basically using it, you could use it to get an extra little trickle of titanium and crystal every single week. Now, as you can see, I've got about 4 runs, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah, 4 runs before I lose that event. Internet blueprints for Cerritos is at 90 blueprints. Oh, is that the in-app store? But yeah, so, right. Now, this ship gives a supporting ability, and it's coupled with a pile of research as well, which we'll look at in just a second. The Cerritos basically supports your ship by boosting a lot of stuff. In fact, to be honest, we actually need to go over to the research, don't we, for this one? So if we go into there, and then we go into the starships tree, and we scroll across to the Cerritos stuff. So here's all your Cerritos stuff. So it basically improves your weaponry, your defense aid, your target projection. What's this defense aid? What's that? That's base mitigation stats, base penetration stats, your base shield health. Now these again from the battle pass and the events. Okay. Oh, are you saying that you're only at 90 blueprints? So I'd be careful then if you're using that event to either, I don't know if you're getting the Cerritos, still need to get the Cerritos, or are you at work, Nuts? I thought you seemed rather quiet tonight. I hope it's nothing dangerous you're doing while listening or watching the stream. So, but the Cerritos research, now it is all base level. So please remember this when you doing it. Remember, your base level's here, all your research is on top. So it only affects this bit down here. Not this. All this extra bit here, it doesn't touch. So the 70% boost will be for everything here and nothing up here. So I still get the event too. Nothing to note. They add G5 crystal into the event that has blueprints once you get to G5 land. Yeah, and I can understand why, because obviously when it was launched, there was a lot of G5 players who went after it as well. Some of them obviously didn't spend to get it. They did actually do the free-to-play path, so obviously they would have had to put G5 materials into it. Now, the Cerritos does have a couple of, as the Cerritos Wednesday, which has more events with it, and there's an extra event added when you get to Tier 5. Tier 12, you got another event which is going to give you some extra particles to do particular these primes. For all of your other research, you're going to need the Culver particle to do the research. Also, Overnight was added, which was going to do your support ability. So that's the Cerritos added, and yes, there's also been a skin added lately as well, which can help boost your support time for friendlies. Now you can support anybody, friends, other players, enemies. The only thing you can't support is the red dots and the Armadas. So don't even try. Now, May also was, like I said, was Lower Decks Part 2, but it was actually called Anthology Part 1. And what it did is it introduced us to brought in 3 older IPs that have already been seen, which was the original series, the Next Generation, and Discovery. Gave them a week each to basically rerun their metas. Now, during the TOS week, there was an event. Which stats do you want to... Oh, right, yeah. There you go. That's my stats. Now, as I was saying, the TOS week brought in a new SMS, which was a topless SMS. Basically, it just went on and on and on and on. And unless you were prepared to spend vast amounts of money, you were never going to complete it. You could get the first couple of milestones, and that would be pretty much it. How's the base raid going? What base raid? I'm not raiding a base at the minute. I ain't got time to raid a base at the minute. It takes forever and a day to raid a base on our server. So, but yeah. So that was a fantastic event, and there was a lot of potential for that kind of event. If Scopley brings it back and actually, adds more stuff to it and make it, the higher you go. I mean, it could be a case of got to moan and threaten apex of 1 though. Right, Matthew, you're going to have to be a little bit more specific, because, yes, I have had a bit of a ding-dong with Apex today. They were raiding one of our bases. We went to defend, and he carried on shooting our ships in our territory while defending another alliance whose ship I was chasing around our territory. But apparently one of my alliance as well went in and killed a couple of OPC miners, so he wasn't too happy. And he's actually said a message about we should leave 50 plus players alone. Well, no, doesn't work that way. Not to my opinion, but we're not going to get into... Isn't that part of the game though? Yes, it is part of the game, PvP, but shooting another alliance's ships in their territory is a bit of a dick move. I mean, it's not against the game rules. Yes, you can go out and shoot other players' ships, but it's a bit of a dick move if you want to start an argument. Sounds like server 44 players here. Yeah, it is a diplomatic, and I've literally said to the Admiral of Apex, look, right, I'm telling my guys, don't bother going into Apex territory for the next 48 hours. Let's just let things cool down. That's that. He was within diplomacy. He was definitely within row. He was definitely within row. But there was one miner I think was empty, but I can't confirm it. It was a quick glimpse I got and I didn't catch it. So I've asked the player for the screenshot of that one. He's yet to get back to me. But as far as I'm concerned, we're staying out of Fjord territory, out of Apex territory, and for the next 48 hours. But yeah, so I'm leaving that one at that. I'm not going to get into it. We asked for proof and no one sent pictures. Not safe, you just raised it or respect. Yeah, no problem, mate. Absolutely. I understand you want to know what happened, so I'm obviously let you know. No, the proof of the UPC, the under protected cargo hit, I'm still waiting for a screenshot of, and I will provide that as soon as I've got it. But your Admiral was provided a lot of screenshots as well. So, and I mean a lot of screenshots. My battle logs, the conversation I had with the player in question. So there was literally everything was above board, and yeah, I came to the decision that I wasn't going to get an answer a reasonable outcome to it. So I made a decision on how we were going to deal with it, and I left it at that. I'm part of Apex Command, so I've seen it all. As soon as it comes through, send it to us. We'll deal with it. Yeah, there you go. So you've seen what he said. I've got a PM from him in my inbox, which I'll deal with later. So, but yeah, to me, yes, fine. He was within row. I can't deny that. He was raiding one of our players, so I was trying to defend that one. Obviously, he stopped defending. He came after my base. Okay, fair dues. Yeah, fine. I carried on. Yeah, no, absolutely, Matthew, not a problem. And then obviously found Mantis came in from another alliance who you're allied with. So I sent that player warning, please leave our territory. He didn't, so I ended up chasing around the system. Your guy ended up chasing mine. I eventually succeeded in destroying the Mantis, and then he went and blew up my ships anyway. That's the bit I've got a problem with, is the fact I destroyed that Mantis and he still carried on coming after me just because it was your ally. To me, it was over, but yeah. So, but anyway, moving on. So, base raiding is something I don't really particularly do unless I need to. Dang, you're in leadership, sir? Oh man, I'll never do leadership stuff. No respect from my own teammates or yes, protecting allies is part of the game, but when I've actually finally destroyed it, it's like, well, okay, you've got to me. If I was chasing somebody after one of our allies, if they finally destroyed him, I thought, right, fine, you've got him, I can't be bothered with you then, and I'm off. You've got him, that's it, end of it. No, he still proceeded to kill a few of my ships, but like I said, that's what he did, and that's the bit where I sort of like lost my rag a little bit. I wasn't too happy. Messaged your Admiral. Your Admiral's given me his explanation around it, and literally, yeah, I'm not going to delve into that one any further. Obviously, if he's provided you the screenshots of what was said, that's fair dues. But leadership of an alliance can be relatively easy if you've got a smooth running alliance where players know what they're doing and they generally don't try and cause problems. But sometimes you do get these issues as well. So, yeah. I mean, the player in question, I did not stand a chance against his ships. No chance, not a cat and mouse chance. His G5 ships didn't stand a chance. I was lucky to get in and finally kill his Nova at one point, and that was about it. But the rest of the time, he was literally tanning my hide. So, but I think as well, he wasn't too happy with the fact that 2 of his Meridians were shot OPC as well. So he wasn't happy about that. So to me, I've told my alliance what to do. And it's like, that's it. Just stay away from him. Let's let things cool down. Move on. Drive on. To me, it's not worth getting... You have that initial rage, that initial really... if you don't want to be hit, stay within protected cargo. Yeah. And I know your player was OPC when one of our other guys took out his 2 Meridians, which your guy was not happy with. But to me, it's not worth holding on to grudges in this. Me, tomorrow, I'll move on. I don't care. However, I got annoyed when you get hit 3-star node and you're literally 10k over. That seems pointless. Yeah, it does seem pointless. It does seem pointless, but I will hold my hand up to OPC hunting. Even if you couple over, depending on what mood I'm in, I might shoot you, I might not. It's OPC at the end of the day. Is it worth the kill? Sometimes, not really. So I'll bypass it. But yeah, exactly, Kevin. Welcome to the stream. OPC is OPC. And that is the way I play. If your miners are OPC, fine, expect to get exploited. My miners are constantly OPC. I'm surprised nobody pops them all the time. The only ones that usually do get the hit is like my Latinum miners or my Isogen miners. They're the only ones that pretty much get hit. My data one I can get away with. If it gets hit, I think it's only been hit like 2 or 3 times in the last couple of months. Isogen miners is one I keep getting hit on. Just like, yeah, exactly. And protecting allies. But like I said, with protecting allies, depending on how you are, if the ship you're trying to protect gets destroyed, do you carry on trying to defend a ship that's already been blown up? No, I don't see the point. But like I said, tomorrow I'll move on. Not a problem. And I'll probably talk to you guys and say, sorry for going off on you yesterday. It's just a game. No hard feelings. Let's carry on. And if your player accepts that, smash in. To me, there's no point holding on to any grudges or malice in this game. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. Yes, you'll have your initial moment where you rage, you peed off, or you want to do something about it. Blow it out, move on, or just log off the game. So, yeah, exactly. Exactly the point there, Matthew. You use the game for fun at the end of the day, so why carry things on? And that's the big thing for me. Why carry on? Move on. There's a lot of problems on our server which are related to the past. It's just fast to return to base. Yeah, getting blown up is just a fast way to return to base. It is. I'm not going to deny that one. But especially when you're in the same system as your base. But yeah, there's no point. There's too many grudges in this game, especially on our server. It's caused some players to leave because they don't want to put up with that kind of attitude of plays. It's like, fine, have your initial grudge against it on that day, but move on. Just move on. And then if it's something serious enough that you really hate it, take it to customer support and report that player. So it's like, if I said something to your guy or your admiral that they didn't like, report me to customer service for what I've said. They'll investigate it and see what's what. Now, I know for a fact, and I do apologise, I'm digressing here, there are a lot of things that have been said on our server, some not so nice stuff, some really hateful stuff, and stuff you should not say. And they have been reported to customer service. What's been done about them, I don't know. I know sometimes some of those players just disappear from chat or something like that for a while. On our server, there's so much hate between 2 coalitions. Sometimes it ends up in war, but most of the time, yeah, and exactly. And to me, I don't go. The one thing is right is I won't go around doing the harassing of blowing up players. Oh yes, it is toxic. But I won't go around blowing players up in other alliances' territories unless they're currently mining and they are OPC. We had that for a while, Peg. You remember TIH for exactly? I do remember it, and I was involved in that war. And that was before the server merge, if I remember correctly. We had that ding dong, and it was all over bad blood going over the past, and that's where I've got an issue. If you can't let go of the past in this game over a bunch of pixels, you need to get out of this game, take some time off, find another game. Eve Echoes or Eve Online, go there and get blasted. Now, it's not the best way for me to sell this game, but if you're going to get that high rate, fine. I mean, it's like, this incident was only a few hours ago. I've calmed down now. I've chilled out, and yeah, fine. And so I'll respond to that PM, and I'll have a quick, if he's still online when I message him, I'll have a quick chat with him and just say, look, right, no hard feelings. All right, yeah, you got my ships. No problem. So, I mean, there were a couple of other little issues in that conversation we'll hopefully iron out quite quickly. But me, I don't see the point of holding a grudge. There's no point in it. Move on. Literally. Like we're going to do now, because we're going to move on from Anthology to June, July and August. And for those of you who do remember, just to hit exactly, things get said. I know, I do apologise for this. Things do get said. Now, you can either let it grill you up, or you can take a deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and go, okay, fine, he's a dick. That's it. Just go, yeah, fine, whatever, and carry on. Yeah, no, to be honest, I've got no problem with these kind of conversations, and it does show how... Now, I don't want to sound offensive, but it just shows how petty this game can get. Even I can get petty. I mean, today's incident was just petty. It was just stupid. That's the way it was. But I've calmed down, moving on. And that's why I say I'm quite happy to have that quick discussion on it. So it just adds a bit of entertainment for everyone else. So, and it shows what the kind of tensions involved, and especially when you're in a leadership position in your alliance as well, as a Commodore. But that's right. Now, Strange New Worlds was the arc. Well, where do we begin with Strange New Worlds? Spender's arc. It was literally a Spender's arc, especially in June. It was all about the Spenders. The Mantis was brought in. The glorious Mantis. It was the worst arc, if I'm honest. Yeah, I will agree with that one, Matthew. It was the worst arc. Now, let's not mince words here, right? I appreciate people who spend money in this game. I appreciate it. Because without the spenders, we would not have a game. Literally, we wouldn't have a game. But this arc was literally so focused in June on the spenders, there was literally bugger all for the free-to-play players. Oh, the ship is 100% worth it. Now they've actually fixed the damn thing. But the fact it's taken so long to get it fixed is another issue. But the one thing is, there was literally bugger all for free-to-play players. Now, the Mantis came out. Fantastic ship. It's a flying surfboard. Let's put mine out, because obviously I've got mine here in December. So here we go. Flying Mantis. Mine's tier 4. I'm still trying to get it leveled up to 20. Not easy when you can't use Pike Moreau. But I've seen players flying around with Pike Moreau. Hi, Avan. A new ship that was it's fixed. It's free to play. Yes, it is free to play now. But when it was originally released back in June, it wasn't. Yes, you had the 50 blueprints in the premium side of the battle pass. So they're spending straight away. Why not PMC? Because you're not taking advantage of the loot bonus. And the ideal crew you would normally use for this would be, I should really put it on one of the docks, shouldn't I? Yeah. Well, actually, there's a few crews. What I use 5 of 11, 7 of 11, and Lorca. Lorca for my hull breach, 5 for the mitigation, along with 7, and his synergy with 5, but also 5 for her loot bonus. So basically increasing the amount of loot that I get. I mean, I've seen players flying around PMC and I'm thinking, why? If you're going after those explorers, you're going to be grinding. It's a hell of a grind. You want to be going after those interceptors. You don't have 4 yet. A tier 4, do you mean? No, because unless you can fill your cargo bay each run, it's going to be difficult for you to do the pulls. But I mean, yeah, we're on the Mantis, so we can talk 4 of 11. 4 of 11. He's a miner. Isn't he? Yeah, he's the Borg Ston. Yeah, you can use, actually, I can easily fill with PMC. Right, with PMC, but how many ships are you killing? How many ships are you Charon works really well. Oh, Charon. I've never thought about Charon. But then again, mine's a very low level. So I probably won't put him on there yet. Don't count. No, but I bet you're killing. Okay, the best way to add it then. How long are you Lalan for lower deck? Yeah, if you've got a higher level Mantis, I would definitely suggest putting Lalan on lower deck. But also get your stats maxed as best as you can on it first. But how long, okay, do you spend grinding in Mantis space on one run? Just the one run. How long do you spend? Because I spend 10 minutes per run. Providing I can get those interceptors, less than 30 minutes. Well, that's not too bad. It's still within a reasonable grinding phase. It's less than 30 minutes. But mine's usually around about 10 minutes a run. If I can get access to those interceptors. And to be honest, I won't always use the exocoms that come with them. So now I'm not going to dive too deeply into the Mantis because obviously I did release a video. I am looking at another video where I'll be looking at the excoms. Do need 2 or 3 exos or else I won't fill it. Yeah, now that's the downside. I can fill my cargo bay with no exocoms. I can fill my cargo bay with no exocoms, just using my crew. Now, I don't boost my cargo with the likes of 4 of 11, Ston, or 2 of 11. I don't boost my cargo with them. I literally just have my cargo with the research, and that is it. At the minute, mine holds 37,000. 37.4 thousand. And that's with some research as well. So what crew do you use? Right. Tell you what then, so let's take him off there because let's just put that trash in. Where are you? Oh bloody hell. 6 minutes away. Right, let's get that sorted, shall we? Let's bring it back because obviously the crew that I want to show you is actually on that ship, on the Valdor. So let's stop there. We've got 48 seconds. But so right, are you killing 33s? No, I'm killing 35s. Oh, is it 35s? Yeah, 35s. Yeah. It takes me 5 minutes to grind out 110,000 with level 41 hostiles. It's great now with 3 Apex. Yeah, exactly. And obviously, when it was originally released, you got 1 Apex in a system spawn. And then eventually it broke. So now, here we go. He's entered the system so we can summon him home quickly and get him back in. Right, here we go. So, swap ship. Mantis. And, oh, Lorca's not even there. Where's Lorca? There you go. That's the crew I use, and making sure my below deck starts as good as it can do. Now, so I'm testing the Pylum on Jem'Hadar Hostiles. Can get 75 loot in one run, but cost 75 mil trip to repair. If I do 2 runs with the Augur, I get the same loot, but yeah. It just depends if you're prepared to put up with the travel time. That's a bit. But other than that, looks like I did turn the heating down. Reasonable. But yeah, the lower level ships, obviously, it doesn't cost as much to repair. Rev Juice says he uses his Gladius to go kill the heavy transports in the capital systems. But he can only get 2 kills. But if he uses his Augur, he can get more kills, but his repair cost is substantially higher. I won't be using the pilot for this anymore. No, I mean, if your Augur's, if you're prepared to put up with the travel time, your Augur will be better. It's going to be cheaper and it's better. The 41s on my server never did break, so I got lucky. I think it was only selected systems they were breaking in. But no, the Goddard fix, the patch they used was increase it to 3, and it's made it a hell of a lot easier to grind. But anyway, so I use 511 for that. The deflection, the armor, and the dodge boosted by 200%. Obviously, because I've got the synergy of 7 of 11, that's going to boost it up to 600. And then obviously he increases the health of every officer on the ship by 90%. So that gives that extra that health boost, which then directly feeds into her captain's ability. So that's a bonus. And then obviously Lorca for the hull breach. But the hostile grind is so much easier with the Pylum. No more chasing traders in Sol, but just easier kills in deep space. Yeah. I mean, I now, because where my Pylum is, and now I've got Picard, I can now literally go in and do the capital ships. Yes, I'm going to end up spending more because I'm using the Jellyfish and the Valdor, but I'm going to spend more on that one in repairs. But to me, I get it done and in less time. I don't want the travel time. So it's like half an hour each day. Yeah, that's good. I will say that is good. But so that's the crew I use. Obviously, below deck, I try and stack the stacks as best I can. So leave that there because I'm going to need them for morning. And then obviously the system I will go to is right here, just below, down south. And what I do is, as you can see, I've only got the 3 systems open. Jelly is great for traders, but can't reach deep space with it. No, you can't. Not the adequate levels you're talking about. No, the Jellyfish won't go that far. But this is the system that I go to. Go around, get the XComs when I find them. Sometimes I won't even fight with it for the XComs. I'll just go straight after the Apex traders. But this is where you'll go with your Mantis. Gather the loot, which you'll then bring to your refinery. And put it in here. So these are the ones where you'll be spending it. This is the one you're ideally going to need to upgrade your Mantis. T6 Jelly has a Warp 105. Exactly. Those warp ranges speak for themselves, don't they? So, but yeah, so this one you're going to need to upgrade your ship. The Synthetic Ion is for your research. Syndicate XP is an absolute must. I will say it's an absolute must. Oh, hello. Did you type it all again for me there? Okay. It's come through again. And then you get whole fragments. Now, there is a daily as well attached to this. The daily I've already done and it's already cleared off my board, so I can't show you that. But it is the daily, do it once every 2 days. That is it. Just once every 2 days. I would not recommend doing it any more than that. Because doing it once every 2 days, you actually end up with a lot more hull fragments. So, but obviously, I will recommend check out the Mantis video because obviously it's all on there. Now, also released during the Strange New Worlds arc was Infinite Incursions. Yes, the chance to actually invade other servers. Woohoo! Well, that went downhill pretty fast, didn't it? Because it was literally a PvP based event where you basically went in, blew up enemy ships off the other server, raid their bases for resources, and that's how you were scoring. The most recent iteration of Infinite Incursions, they added PvE, but while I applaud the idea and the concept, the implementation of it was, yeah, somewhat lacking. Incursions, never participated, only PvE SMS. So, did you dodge the give us PvP event, but not flipping Franklin? Yeah, exactly, Matthew, and that's what I mean. The latest iteration introduced the Franklin PvE/PvP. Now, for those who have not actually seen this, if you joined recently in the stream, this is pretty much how it worked. You took your Franklin, you went across to the opposite server and did PvE. Now, the other server had to take their Franklin on their server and come after you for PvP. It was the most expensive repair bill a lot of players had. And the thing I wanted with PvP is to fight Rev or DJs, but no, Server 44 never gets to fight servers 20. Well, you never know, T. You never know. You might get one at the minute. I mean, DJ's already popping up. It looks like he's starting his stages podcast. But no, you'll eventually get to fight them at some point. I don't know how much participation Rev does. I just want to fight Peg. Hey, bring it on. Bring it on. We're on the same server, Matthew. Bring it on. I've got my Discovery set outside my base if you want it. But yeah, so Infinite Incursions. If you want to see us PvP for specific ships, make sure there are penalties for using different ships. Yeah. Hey, welcome to the stream card. Yeah. Penalties for different ships. Yeah, I suppose you could. But the one thing is the penalty with using different ships is you didn't score. You didn't score. You had to use those specific ships. Now, obviously with Infinite Incursions, when it started, you had a specific system you went to, you gathered, you shot each other. It was the same system on both servers. That's it. But then they took that away and made it open anywhere on the map. Well, that kind of makes it a lot harder to find PvP targets. But a lot of servers, I know they actually decided to do a single system themselves, got everyone together, shoot each other in that system. Best way to fix it, in my opinion. Score should be based on damage dealt, win or lose. Exactly, not. I remember you bring this up when we last mentioned this PvE and PvP meta for Incursions. It should have been damage meta. I totally agree. That would have been a better way. Like I said, I do applaud Scopley's idea, the thoughts behind it. The downside is they could have picked the Rialta. Make it a Rialta war. That would have been fun. So that would be a nice change indeed. I might do it then. Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot more players would actually do that PvP based on damage. Because you know for a fact you're going to score. What was it? Hunter Killer last year. I loved that event when they actually put it in one system. You went in, you scored points for damage. It was a win or lose. You still scored points. I just sent a flak of G2 ships. I just kept sending them in. Joined another Alliance's takeover. Yes, they blew up, but I eventually completed the event. So, I mean, it was something along those lines I absolutely loved. But Incursions is returning on the 3rd of January. So just bear that in mind. 3rd of January, that's going to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the 3rd of January. Infinite Incursions will return. Now, is that Arcfall Day? I don't know. We need more to store per loot invasions, though. Whatever max out these strike teams last week. Yeah, that. Well, the loot that you got for that was. Yes, I can understand it, but the pricing of the strike teams, yeah, they would need to increase the loot significantly or reduce the price of those officers. So I would agree. But now, another thing added to Strange New Worlds was the expansion of the Galaxy Research Tree. Where are you? There you are. So now, yes, I have done a couple bits, and the one thing is I'm not actively engaging with this. This is literally January won't be out for too early anymore. Yeah, this is what I was thinking as well, Q. Welcome to the stream. I'm thinking Arcfall will be the following week. I'm thinking we will have the 2-week gap this time round. But it's Scopley, anything's possible. I have known it to be early on one occasion at least. I can't remember when, but it has happened. But ideally, I think for date-wise, it would have to be the following week on the 10th of January. But we'll see. But anyway, Galaxy Research Tree was extended. A lot of players have not actively engaged with this one because of the sheer amount of time you've got to put in it. The costs of it as well is ridiculous. And they also introduced a new currency called Rhodidium. This is one thing you can gain on a weekly basis in your faction stores, but it's only between one of the 3 primary factions. Now, like I said, I'm not actively engaging in this. The ones I've actually done so far have actually been based for this big domination event where you're actually getting paid out in Latinum. And the reason I'll say that is because if we look at pure advancement, 36,000 power boost, that's going to give me a significant amount to actually, are they worth anything? The overall cost of what you get back, if I remember what DJ and Rev were talking about, is, yes, it is an increase, but it's pretty crap. It is a pretty crap what you get back. So, and yeah. You go over Flash Pass already? No, I've not mentioned the Flash Pass yet. Because I can actually bring Flash Passes in now, because obviously they've been running now for a few months, and that was another thing brought in this year. So, less said on this one, the better. Trust me, we've got one that's even less said, the better. And I'm sure a lot of you can think, well, that's already going to be. But anyway, Flash Passes brought in. I can't remember exactly when they were brought in, but it has been several months now. It was definitely this year. To me, this is a fantastic idea, just to give you that little extra. Yes, it means more Battle Pass points to do, but again, you've got this overflow, which is going to give you broken decision rods. It's going to give you more Latinum. It's a shorter version, and it's brilliant. Now, what they actually usually do with this Flash Pass is quite simple. Yeah, the 4th or yeah, exactly, Kay. 4th or 5th iteration of it. So it's now seeing its legs and it's working fine. The Elite side is cheap as chips, £10 or $10. That's it. It's literally 6 days long, and you'll get an uncommon officer. They need to fix the field exercise. We'll talk about field exercise in just a moment because we're about to come on to Deep Space Nine. So you'll get an uncommon officer, a rare officer, and an epic officer. You'll also get some rare Armada directives. You will also get some Syndicate XP and some Ultra and Premium recruit tokens as well. How this values for you is going to be down to your general assession of everything here. If you like the idea, the fact you can get some extra shards for Tindy, but I'll tell you one thing now, the officer that's going to be a pain in the ass to source in this one is going to be this officer here, Mackinnon. Yes, there is no active way to source her, so by all means, she's only in the free line. By all means, do it, get these extra 8 shards. It's going to be a bonus for you. So, yep. So, like I said, it's going to be down to you. Obviously, the Battle Pass events are pretty much the same events you're going to get. So, I expect an away teams one coming up at some point in the next couple of days. So, now, obviously, yeah, I know who it is. It's Matthew. He's coming after my shit. He's coming after my discovery. Now, Return of the Megacube has returned as well, so we'll just quickly touch on this one. Day 1 and 2 sees the live target practice. Day 2 sees this event as well. You've also got the SLB and the ALB as well. Yes, love you too, Matthew. So, you got them. Now, what I would say, I know some of you probably already done this. I literally went off at my alliance last night about this. Don't do any Armadas till day 3. That's when it... thanks for keeping me so glad to do the grind needed to do in Gay today. Got to make some dinner. Have a good evening and good luck with your content, mate. Thanks very much, T. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your tea. Don't burn yourself. Please don't burn yourself while cooking. But no, thank you very much. And hopefully we'll see you on the next stream. But yeah, so the Borg. Do not do the Armadas on days 1 and 2. Do them on day 3. Day 3, you got your Mega Cube. That's the event, obviously, where you start the Mega Cube. There'll be an event. When you start that Mega Cube, you will complete an event, which will give you another 10 Mega Cube directives to start another one. Save those for the next time this event comes round. It's a pretty crap event, but hey-ho. It's your only way to get the Infinitus skin for your Vidar if you've not already got it. So you get the war funds. Yeah, okay, pretty much. Yeah, that's it. That's literally all you can say. Rev and DJ, I know I've done a few videos on this. I've done a couple of videos on the Borg Cube, so we'll leave it at that. But anyway, moving on to Deep Space Nine. September to December. Yes, what a crap start, to put it bluntly. In the form of the fact that maintenance went on way longer than it should have done. But what was we introduced to? Well, we was introduced to a whole whack of new systems, which we'll just scroll up to. And there they are, Cardassia, Bajor, and also a lot of other ones. Why they haven't actually put a thing around this to make it Cardassian territory, I do not know. They did it with Rogue, they did it with Augment, they've done it with the Jem'Hadar. Why they didn't do it with this, I do not know. But they have done so. It's Cardassian Armadas, and we'll quickly just click on the system. All the Cardassian Armadas are basically a version of Deep Space Nine. Now, when they was originally launched, they all came out with uncommons, rares, and epics. All had this ship ability. Obviously, rares were stronger, epics were even stronger. Players immediately found a solution to round these Armadas, and Scopley literally shut it down. One of the biggest uproars in the game I have seen, from players absolutely caning Scopley for that kind of a move. She was released 24 hours later with a deal. Basically, the uncommons kept their ship abilities, rares and epics lost it, and that's it. Now, to me, these are better than the faction Armadas. They've got better payouts. There's more stuff which goes towards both you as a player and towards your alliance. Also released with them as well, at the top there, was your own personal reputation within your alliance, which also worked towards the new Starbase research tree that they added. She was released on OR. OR? You're going to have to be a little bit more specific about OR. to be honest, they shouldn't have put her in jail in the first place. They shouldn't have changed anything. They should have just let us go. It is a strategy game. And to me, that means it's down, Scopley, you give us the events. It's down to us to figure out how we're going to do them. And recognizance. All right, yeah. I get yeah. But yeah, so it's down to us to find out how best to do these events. Yes, we're going to collaborate. Yes, we're going to know things, and the fact that we actually know things about us veterans, we know more about the game than the people actually designing it. They messed up and did not like it. Yeah, they did. They messed up a somewhat chronic on with Pegasus Armadas. They messed up somewhat chronic on it. And to be honest, I saw the funny side of it. But the fact that Scopley did what they did was bang out of order. They shouldn't have done it. Found a bug to raid. Cool. I'll be along shortly. But no, this was a star-based research tree. A lot of it came out with coming soon. They've obviously been recently filled in. 37. Yeah, no problem, Kate. But no, 5 hours. Yeah, go get some sleep, mate. Don't worry, we'll be able to catch up on the rest of the stream when YouTube finally actually put it up. But thank you for coming to the stream. So yes, we got the star-based tree. Some goodies in here. Pretty much the only things I found of value in here is this one, a boost for your mining concentrated platinum, and these ones, which is boosting the loot that you get from the exchange armadas, both uncommon, rares, and epics. But other than that, the rest of the trees, yeah, okay. I've done these as well because I thought these are actually pretty good. So give me base guns some boost. They didn't do much today, I will say that much, but they were there. So we got that. Hi Fusion, welcome to the stream. Just hearing released OR got me here. So right now, what else did we get? We've got an awful lot of stuff added during this DS9 arc. Now, September, right? October was. It still wasn't a particularly good month, but it was certainly better on content. And in fact, it was the best month on content we actually got. Because, first of all, as you all know, we got Dominion Space. Yes, and we got new Solo Armadas, which I absolutely love these. So, I mean, you can start off at level 35, you can start doing these, go around, smash up, and this is literally just you against that thing. You don't need any alliance help. You can bring 3 ships, take it on, boom, jobs are good. And also you're going to get loot, 2 forms of loot. Yeah, it was such a good update. So you've got 2 forms of loot, which then you can take to one of the next best things. In fact, it is one of the best bits of content added to the game by far. The Bajoran Faction Store, or also known as the Bajoran Research Tree, because a lot of this stuff in here is basically research. They decided to call it favors, but for all intents and purposes, it is research, giving you nice boosts to a lot of stuff and everything. Some of it you can do just literally one-offs. Some of it is going to need certain levels. Got like boost to your refinery, boost to kicking the Dominion's butts. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff in here as well. And the loot that you're going to get from those armadas, you can bring in here. You need a Bajoran 101 class. I have no idea what to do here. Well, I'll tell you what, then I'll give you a 101. Okay. Basically, Bajoran Faction Store. What you're going to do is you're going to start off with the hostile exchange. Well, in fact, no, to be honest, right. First of all, you're going to go to Dominion Space. You're going to go blow up a load of Dominion bug ships to get a And as look at it, they're not actually on the top screen. But what you're going to need is I'll tell you what. Here's the system. So here we go. Now, these bugs, they come in all three classes. The Interceptor is a fighter. The Explorer is a cruiser. The Battleship is a battleship, really. But what you're going to get from these is antimatter units. You can start these at Ops 35, or as soon as you can start getting into this territory and you have a ship capable of taking these on. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these antimatter storage pods. You're going to go over to your Bajoran faction store. It does open at 35 for you, but you're not going to be able to do an awful lot. So what you'll do is you'll take these antimatter units here to the Bajoran hostile exchange and exchange them for these Bajoran badges. Now, bear in mind, what you'll see there is not what you'll get unless you've done a specific piece of research. So then what you're going to do is you're going to move up to the directive exchange. These are your Solo Armada directives. You can pull these on a 24-hour or 22-hour basis, and you'll get 100 directives. You can go for the 2 chests if you want, but it's pretty expensive. And then obviously what you'll do as well is you can either, if you've got enough of these badges still left, you can go get some reputation, which I highly recommend you do, or you can go get some Bajoran credits as well. Another thing which you are going to need, but we'll touch on that in just a moment. So you'll take your directives and you'll come here to the Armadas. I haven't got a ship within range. These have only got 90-second timers on them. And basically what you're going to do is start an Armada, blow these things up, and then you're going to get the loot from them. You've got, obviously, your uncommon ones, rares and epics, and then you've got these edicts as well, which is going to go towards another chest. So once you've destroyed them, now, I will tell you that this has multiple built-in loops. Loops on top of loops on top of loops on top of loops. And ideally, it's a 2-week... When you do get 40 plus, it's a 2-week loop. 2-week loop. Basically, you'll need to kill 3 or 4, depending on your level and your reputation as well. 3 or 4 uncommons. If you're lucky, you can get away with 2. Go back to the Bajoran store. Go down to the uncommon loot exchange and cash them in here, where you're going to get rare directives. So double the uncommons and you are actually going to get enough to do 1 rare Armada. Now, like I said, this is on a loop. You will need to kill up to 6 uncommons to start the loop. And it rolls through for 2 weeks. Because when you've done the 6, you can get 350 of these. Obviously, that allows you to start 1 rare. Then you'll need to kill another 3 uncommons to get another 175. So when you've taken off the rare cost for the last rare Armada you've done, which basically means it's a 200 reduction. So you've gone from 350 to 150. Pulling another one chest of this will take you up to 325 rare directives. They do slowly go down by 25 directives each time you pull this chest. Just a single chest. Don't bother with the 2s and 3s. They're too bloody expensive. Yeah, you'll be waiting a while. So you'll do your rares, and then also you'll get the rare loot, which you'll then bring to this chest, which will give you the epic directives. Okay, epic directives. As you can see, I've got a pull, so I'm going to be able to pull some epic directives right now. Boom. Now, in each of these chests as well, you'll also get Bajoran credits and the diplomacy tokens. They are guaranteed what you're going to get. So for this rare one, guaranteed 235 diplomacy tokens and 475 Bajoran credits. That's added to my... Yeah, it wasn't too bad a pull, actually, for a change. Trusted that to give me the best pull so far. But you'll bring them here and then do that. So when you've done the epics as well, because you will be able to do up to 2 epics, so 2 rares a week. Yes, 2 rares a week. If you got into it, now do not expect this to happen on the first run. It might take you 2 or 3 loops to get actively in it, and then eventually you will be able to do 2 epics in a month. Ideally, 2 epics in a month. It took me a month to get the first one because obviously it took time to get going. Started off with the low ones, but the higher up you get, the better. Smashing cheers, Colonel. But this is your epic one, and basically you're going to get some transporter patterns. Now, what you will get in this chest is you will get the officers based on the grading. So here, epic, you're going to get epic. Rares, you'll get the rares. Uncommons, you'll get the uncommons. So on and so forth. Just got Ops 42. Still no 42 uncommon ship yet. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can still hit it with G3s. G3 epics. Trust me. If you've got G3 epics, use them. Trust me. Just as good. If you've got the jellyfish, I'd highly recommend you chuck that in there. You'll also get parts from commons and rares. There's no epics in this, which is a bit of a bugger. Maybe if you get higher ops level, epics appear. I don't know. Possibly. And then, now, there was that other currency reward that you get from the Armadas, which is the edicts. Basically, you get a build-up of edicts to about that much, 1,050, and you get a chance to come in here where you're going to get guaranteed, again, tokens, credits, and then a chance to pull on some directives. So, yes, you've even got a chance of a full pull Armada, and then officers, and then you're back to the ship parts again as well. So, this is awesome. It's all about crewing. You can take out 40 with a Jelly, Augur, and Enterprise. In the event store, I got Cisco O'Brien to T3. It's a game changer. Exactly. And I will touch on the Deep Space Nine officers shortly. But this is a fantastic tree. You've also got these material credit claims. One was going to cost you Bajoran credits, and the other one is going to cost you diplomacy tokens. And to be put, the both chests are exactly the same. They just cost different currencies. And yeah, to be honest, they are not that bad. So now, once you really get going through the loops and you're really into it, you can actually do these, and you can also pull a blueprint for the Defiant as well. Now, obviously, because I haven't got the Defiant, I can't show you everything else that you're going to get for the Defiant. Fortunately, you're going to have to wait another 49 days for me to be able to show that off. Sorry, but there it is. You do also have this this Defiant Amplified chest, which is going to give you an extra 10 credits and 10 badges. Obviously, once you do build the Defiant, you will get the opportunity to greatly increase all that. When you get to Ops 55 and you get a Tier 12 Defiant, 400 badges, 400 credits, jobs are good. What that will mean for you up at 55, I really do not know. But I know DJ had the designers of this on one of his pod streams, and they said they designed this thing to last, that you're really going to want to do it and engage with it, and it's going to last you a while. Obviously, getting all the Bajoran favours and all that, and then once you've got the Bajoran favours, I don't really know where you go from there besides the material credits claim. That's pretty much probably the only place where you'll end up going once you've completed all that research. Obviously, officer shards as well, and ship parts as well, because we all know what the refinery is like for kicking out ship parts. Now, yes, it's all RNG based. I will admit that's the downside to this bit. It is RNG based, but it's still better than your refinery. No questions, it's still better. So if you can do these on a regular basis, crack on. I would highly recommend it. If there's one big thing we can take from Deep Space Nine, it's the Solo Armadas and the Bajoran faction store. So, now, level 55, I'll schedule that into my retirement plans. Trust me, I've scheduled it into my coffin schedule. Yeah, because I'll be in my coffin by the time I get there. But anyway, right, so moving on. We also got the USS Defiant, which was a ship they brought in as another support ship, really. Obviously, when it was coming in, people were questioning what class is it going to be. Oh, it's got to be a battleship. It's got to be a battleship. Really, Matthew? But I was saying, well, no, look at what they've done. The Cerritos was an explorer. The Mantis was a battleship. Both support ships, for better or worse. So the next one had to be an interceptor. I was right. It came out as an interceptor. But this one has got quite a few ship abilities. Basically, you can use this to support your ships in Armadas. Yeah. And it should have done. They should have made this with an ability to also kick Jem'Hadar ass, in my opinion. But they didn't. They literally aimed it as a support ship for Armadas. You do not need to necessarily use it with the Solo Armadas. You can actually use it with fleet-based Armadas as well. So it basically, as that top one says, reinforce your ships. Greatly reinforces ships against Armadas based on your Defiant research. So yes, there is a pile of research. Excuse me, to do with that, so just bear that in mind. Resourceful approach, those edicts we mentioned in the Bajoran store, they get a boost by 250%, kicking out of the dock. Defiant weaponry, unlock powerful buffs which grant significant enhanced effectiveness against Solo Armadas when using the Defiant. So yes, using the Defiant as one of your 3 ships against Solo Armadas as well. And Bajoran currency, the Defiant Amplified Claim, as you saw in the Bajoran store, which I showed you what that does. So basically, it is a support ship only. Bit of a letdown, really. But, yeah. Now, the only time that this thing is really effective for you as a player is when you've got it to your level. It is level locked. At minute, as a level 42 player myself, I can only take this thing to tier 5. And that is where it will be effective for me. If I have it as a tier 4, it won't be very effective. For a level 35 player starting to build it up, it'll be good for you up until 39. Yeah. And then against those 35 Armadas. And then obviously you'll need to get it up. It is expensive to upgrade, I will tell you that. It's going to take you a long time to upgrade it, I will tell you that as well. But that's the way it is. That's Scopley for you. So now we're going to jump back into my base because another feature was also added in the form of the armory. Yes, a new armory was added and this came in November. Yeah, boost to your hull and shield health and your mitigation stats. So brilliant thing for Scopley to bring in. Can't complain. Now, I'm free to play, but I'm tempted to get half buy. Okay. Now, well, instead of reading that bit, let's jump into here. Basically, the armory gave you some ship abilities which you could apply to all your ships. Now, all these uncommon ones you will be able to source when you reach the relevant level for those ships. So if we take like the Mayflower, it's a shipyard 26 ship to build. So when you get the armory to level after Defiant blueprints. Right, okay. So when you get to armory 26, you will be able to unlock the uncommon ability for this ship, and it'll be the same for all your uncommons going up through 26, 28, 42, 53. So now, what will happen when it comes to the rares and the epics, I really do not know. But what are these? Are they good? I really couldn't tell you. But as well, also brought in, and if I remember correctly, it was back in October, is we had automated defences. Now, the Horizon and North Star have recently had them as well. I think they came in November. How you source these, I really do not know. Because nothing has actually been said how you're going to source the shards other than when they was in your in-app store. That was the only time. Now, what you actually get with these is pretty awesome. This is a G3 faction miner for the feds, obviously. And what you're going to get is you get these ones through the Bajoran faction store. The other ones for the actual warships, I'm not sure how you source them, but this one, yes, you do. It's through the Bajoran faction store. Thank you for reminding me of that, Matthew. How thick did I just look then? But anyway, when you're mining and it needs to be activated before you get on the node, you can negate the opponent's captain's maneuver and officer ability by 100%. You also get a 5,000 base increased damage to your ship, which means this thing, I've got a tier 7. I can take on a fairly powerful G3 Epic Enterprise and win. You'll delay your opponent's shots by 3 rounds. Also, you get an extra 3 shots for the whole of combat, and then you delay enemy weapons fire for 8 rounds. So basically, you're the only person shooting it. All right, Matthew, thank you very much for coming along. Sleep well, mate, and take care. How did my Horizon 1 tested today? Only 170k, but it took out a 900,000 Vidar. Exactly. And these automated defences are going to be brilliant when it comes around to incursions, so you can actually carry on mining and get the job done. Okay, thank you, Matthew. Let me know which one it is you're raiding. I'll be sure to teach him the difference between keeping your shields up and not. So these automatic defences, pretty damn good. No, I don't think you're joking. I'm sure if you found one, you're going to raid it. So I'll wait for him to complain. But yeah, so not much else I can say on the ship abilities. How good a saucer? We'll find out. Darkstar? Oh, okay. I think he's offline at the minute. But I'll be sure to have a word with him. Right, so moving on. Espionage event also join this arc. Yeah. Direct hit USS Enterprise. I don't know what that does. It sounds interesting. Let's have a look. I know you are, mate. I know you are. Let's have a look. Enterprise. Direct hit, USS Enterprise. Increasing all penetration stats against players by 300%. So, yeah. Your faction miner can kill a tier 9 feature with that defense. Yeah, it most likely would. That would have been great for the feature PvP that we've just had. Although, there's nothing in here for the feature at the minute. So, but yeah, so penetration stats improvement. The Enterprise D, however, is increase the number of shots per weapon against players by 30%. Yeah. Okay. Fair dues. I'm sure Jean-Luc Picard would have approved of that one. But anyway, yeah, so that now the espionage event. We also had that, a banking new way of doing an event. I absolutely love the idea. I thought it was a fantastic idea, but it dragged on too long. It was something that could have been shortened, as I said in the last 2 videos. It could have been shortened to like a month and still paid out the decent rewards. But anyway, so that is the year so far. Officers. Why have I gone on to faction start? I don't know. What's my favourite event in the game? Oh, that's an interesting one. What's my favourite one? Let down, I put all my things into a Brian, and it was Kira, just like DJ said. So, yes, and that was the other thing with espionage. The fact there wasn't much actually not much information released about espionage and what it was going to do. It was just simply, there's a spy, it's one of these 3 officers, take your bets, who's it going to be? That's literally all we was told. There was no keeping up with it, hyping it up or anything like that. Even the content creators was like, okay, espionage. What's going on? So, obviously, Rev and DJ seemed lazy from Scopley as per usual. It's a great idea. and I would love to see it come back again. But I would like to see it on a shorter basis, like a month long, or an event something similar to espionage, but looking at a different angle. Maybe not a spy, maybe something like invasion. So maybe something along those lines. I don't know, but yeah. There, I forgot what I was talking about. I literally forgotten. But yeah, so oh, trust me to forget what I'm talking about. Let me call up the chat history. Espionage let down. Yeah, that's it. Right. Now, officers, yes, we're going to talk about this, but I just quickly finish with espionage. Right, now, espionage. Now, yes, Reverend DJ had this thing going on about who's officers. They clearly rolled out Miles straight away. I went with Miles. Yeah. No, sorry, I went with Cisco, didn't I? I went with Cisco. And, yeah, obviously he was rolled out by the end of the second month. But the one thing is, at the end of the second month, a big hint was dropped at the end of the core missions when the Admiral was revealed to be a changeling. Now, I'm actually going to say that I'm going to throw in a dispute on that it was Kira. Yes, fine, it was Kira per se for the event, but it wasn't Kira. It was a changeling. It was a changeling. They changed the officer to a changeling. And so, to me, you can't turn around and say it was Kira because it wasn't actually Kira. Now, I thought it was a Cisco originally because the way they wrote his character. And it just literally did not seem like Cisco. Literally didn't. But it turns out it was Kira. But to me, I would say potatoes, it wasn't Kira, it was a changeling. But anyway, so that's my little gripe on that bit. But anyway, now trust me to click bones. Now, moving on to officers, obviously with it being just after midnight now, we'll try and get these done as quickly as possible, but revealing as much as you can. What's your best new officer or sets for this year? Also thought that the reveal of Spy should have had a bigger... Yeah, it should have been a bigger reveal. It shouldn't have been revealed straight at the beginning of the month. It should not have been revealed at the end of the month. It should have been the end. And that's the way I see it. My best officer set, to be honest, I do not really have a best officer set. I don't really have a best one. It's just like, I'll throw officers on the ship as long as they do the job. I'm quite happy. I was happy to get Picard though. I was happy with that. So, I'd probably say PvE officers, really. The Strange New Worlds crew. The weapon set was a letdown. Strike teams, yeah. Wei Yun. Oh yeah, yeah. I've not heard some good things about that, but Wei Yun apparently can be used in base attack, base raiding. Put him with Rom, from what I've heard. I think that's the way around, or was it base defense? I can't remember which way around it was. But anyway, so Deep Space Nine. So starting on the far side there with changing Kira, who obviously was originally released into the game as just Kira. I still haven't made my big purchases in the main store yet. Looking at Strike Team Explorer, thinking Enterprise Valdor. I don't think I have a feature still. If you have not got a feature, get the feature. I would highly say that. Just get the feature. Make sure you get the feature. Because that Latinum infusion every single day is going to be a great help to you. Strike teams, the better of the three apparently is the battleship ones that you got join incursions. So, but yeah, other than that, Cisco and O'Brien, if you wanted officers, get them for your armadas. Because you don't just need them for Solo Armadas, you can use them on any armadas. So, the officer we got for the first month then was Cisco, Kira, O'Brien. They were the first officers. Kira ended up with a bit of a side effect to her of breaking exchange armadas. So, it was something to do with mitigation about how low they sent it, to the point it was actually in a negative, so it broke the Armada. Typical Scopley to invent something like that. Then we got the Interceptor Strike Team in a way of Garrick, Demar and Ducat in October. Oh, I did not know that you could use them on other Armadas. Yeah. No. Cisco and O'Brien you can use on any Armadas. And trust me, they are brilliant. I mean, let's have a quick look at Cisco. When fighting, improves armor deflection and dodge by 400%. Synergied with O'Brien, that boosts it to 900. If you put Changeling Kira with him, that boosts it again and makes it quite pretty good. This ability, though, is basically a Khan officer's ability, increasing critical hit chance by 3% every single round, and it adds up just like Khan does. So this is a critical build officer. Fantastic. Miles O'Brien, bring up. Now he's a lower decker. His lower deck ability is to increase your warp speed, make your ship basically go faster. Yeah, throwaway ability really. But this is the ability that you want, is actual officer's ability. Yep, exactly. Cisco, Miles and Six. Well, I use Hull Breach with... Is it Hull Breach? What ship? I can't remember what ship I've got on assigned to. But this is the ability that you want. For 3 rounds, Miles O'Brien has a 30% chance of increasing shots against an Armada by 100%. Now, mine is tier 2, so please bear that in mind. I think he starts off at 25%. But it's a fantastic ability. When he does proc, bloody hell, you're really shooting that Armada. Put him on a Stella. That first round where you got the 16 shots or something like that, if he procs then, well, 16 turns to 32. That Armada's not gonna last very long. So yeah, they're a fantastic Armada crew. We'll have a quick look at changing Kira. Originally was Kira Nerys. Again, mine's tier 3. Bloody hell. Increases armor, deflection, and dodge of decreases those stats by 18% of attack every time you hit with a weapon. Again, don't use her against exchange because she will floor it to the point you'll spin the directives and nothing will happen. Then you gotta go to customer support, prat around with all that. Now, Kieran Nerys, that's a colonel. She sadly is not to do with your Armadas, but she is an Armada officer, lower deck, but it's against assaults. And yeah, we still got to mention that crap thing, haven't we? Oh, great. But shield mitigation against that. She is also a PvP player for below deck, reducing critical chance by 10%. Obviously, that scales as you tier her up as well. So in October, we got the Interceptor Strike crew. Pretty damn good crew from what I've heard. So Damar is pretty much a bit of a serious letdown, but hey ho. They need Hull Breach to be more effective, which Ducat does give them. And then obviously November, we got the Explorer Intercept crew. Pon was a free-to-play what do you mean Star wiped 300 out last night? That's unusual. Don't ever use Changeling. Not ever really effective at all. No. Yeah. Changing Kira. Oh, right. Okay. Wow. I bet 300 was happy with that one. But, yeah. Changing Kira, probably the only place you would actually use it is on away teams. From what I've heard, she's better on away teams. So, there is a specific one. I can't remember what it was. But there is one. I think it's the Trait XP one. I think. But yeah, so Pong was your free-to-play officer in November. Ikatika I eventually got. Wei Yun I've not even got. But yeah, there's your Explorer crew. Now, the difference between Ducat and Wei Yun is Wei Yun only works for the first 8 rounds he procs. After that, that's it. It is useless. Ducat lasts every single round of combat. Strike Team Lalane. Where is she? Strike Team Lalane. She lasts every single round. So that makes the Explorers the weak one. Shame she was supposed to be the new Gala. I didn't know that. But yeah, it is a shame, but there it is. So there are the officers. Not too bad. Obviously this month as well we've had the Solo Armada crew. So these officers are specifically aimed at Solo Armadas, which you got Jagsy and Dax. Kenai, boosting stats against your piercing stats against Solo Armadas, and obviously increasing weapon damage as well, which that boosts quite significantly and can be one hell of a fantastic officer. You've got Julian Bashir, increasing critical hit chance by 20% against Solo Armada. So basically he will be like your third critical loadout on your third ship. So you could have Khan on one ship, Cisco on the second, Julian on the third. You're going to be hitting crits. You are literally going to be hitting crits. His character's ability, increasing critical damage. Yeah, okay, fair dues. And then of course you've got Odo, which is a below deck officer, increasing critical hit damage. Yeah, okay, and increasing your armor, shield, deflection, and dodge by 40%. So they were Solo Armadas. They was released in December. Yeah, okay, not too bad. She was your free-to-play officer this month, but that's what you could have got out your espionage as well. The chance to unlock her. So that's them. So now we're going to quickly touch on, yeah. Literally, as I mentioned in a video, oh, hello, might as well collect that. The less said about this, the better. Pile of crap, not what the players asked for, although there may have been some players who asked for a glorified, oversized miner. Yeah, that's pretty much all this thing is. I know for a fact that a lot of players that I've spoken with and comments I've seen, they asked for a starbase which could actually, you know, be beneficial to the Alliance, where you can put your starbase with it, you can dock your ships with it, you can do repairs, you can change officers, you can literally do all sorts with it. Instead, we got an oversized miner. And then to rub salt into the wound, in December, we got this addition to it, which is your guns. Wow. And basically added starbase assaults. Right, I was hoping for some form of Deep Space Nine, but they gave us that dumbo thing. Yeah, I know. That's what we was all expecting. We was hoping for a Deep Space Nine skin for our base, or maybe start actually introducing skins for bases. Did we get it? Did we? Hell. But then again, Scopley never give you what you want. They give you what they think you need. But yeah, so we've got this. Yeah. Starbase Assaults is basically a glorified Armada. You're only allowed up to 4 ships in it. And basically the only ships that are really effective against it are actually G5 ships. Everyone else will get blown up. It has one big gun, which I call the Big Bang. It goes off every 6 rounds. So 1, 7, 13, 19. If you're lucky to survive to round 19, you're probably going to blow the base up anyway. But that's it. That is the year. To me, it's not been a too bad a year. We don't even know what the hell you do with this thing. Just, yeah. And to be perfectly honest, right, even Rev and DJ's literally blown a gasket on this one multiple times. But they've said, just take it down. Just pull the whole mechanic and redo it. Literally redo the starbase. And to be perfectly honest, I'm in agreement with them. Scopley needs to rip that bloody thing out of the game and actually give us what we asked for. A base we can dock our ships with. We can put starbase around. Like a planet. You can put it in your territory. You can put it in another system. Not mining yet another currency. And then creating an armada based on going to get that currency to upgrade your starbase only. So, but anyway, that's 2022. Not bad year, I will be honest. the best thing for me to come out of this year is the Bajoran faction store and the Solo Armadas. I mean, even Rev likes them ones so much. But I think, to be honest, even that's pretty much what everyone has actually found from this year. That's the best thing. Your fish is also a good thing. The Treasury is also a nice little boost. Cerritos, a great support ship when needed. The Amalgam, yeah, okay. Infinite Incursions, waste of complete time of an event. But yeah, Scopley would have made us something to look forward to if it was actually worth doing. Rewarding plasma. Give us a chest with ST officers. Pause after hosting an assault. Exactly. It would have been worth doing if there was something more to it other than plasma. The only upside to it is even if you lost against the Armada, you still were going to walk away with some loot because the amount of stuff you got out of that base. So let's just... Right, so that's what we're showing available at the minute, 2.1 million. So if you manage to damage 20% of our Alliance Star base, you'll get 20% that loot. That's it. 20%. You damage 80% of the base, you're going to get 80%. You blow the base up, you get the whole lot. Congratulations, well done. Off you pop. So, is it worth defending when someone attacks your base? Well, it's entirely your Alliance's decision. I tried it. I tried attacking the G5 ship that started the Armada. Literally, when the clock got down to like 11 seconds. But yet they're still able to run the Armada. So I don't know what happened with that tactic there. But anyway. Best strategy is just spend. Yeah, literally. If you've got the stuff. I walked over a starbase easy with a Tribune. Oh my god. Only ship that dies is the smallest. Yeah, and it does sort of like work from that, from what I've seen from battle logs. The weakest ship is the one that gets blown up first. Then it just works its way through, going from weakest to the strongest. To be honest, Scopley, if you wanted to actually do something like that, maybe target the big ship first. You know, the one that can do the damage. But anyway, the guns on this thing as well are pathetically weak. They are crap. But anyway. So... What's up there, T? Hey now, what's up? But they don't... Oh, it's like a water gun. To be perfectly honest, it's like a pathetic water gun. So, but anyway. So, that's the year in review. So, I've got a question for you. Researchers near max. G3 epics are both T3, Jelly's T4. Should I go to Op 40? No. Straight answer, no. Research, spot on. Can't complain. G3 epics, tier 5 is a bare minimum. Jelly T4, spot on. Spot on. But unless you're going to rely heavily on that jellyfish, get at least one of those G3 epics to tier 5. That's what Oh, G3 is a tier 6. Oh, in that case, hit that button, mate. Sugar Babes tells you to push the button. So, yes, push the button. Get yourself straight up to Ops 42. If you've got it. So, literally, yeah. Start building up your resources and materials for your first G4 uncommon ship. Do not worry too much about the miners, your G3 miners, Meridians. They should be able to do the job. Then I can fight you. Yeah, feel free. Say, hunt me out. I'm sure I'll be around somewhere. You can usually find me in Dominion Space, in Sol System, and where else do I normally send ship? The level 40 system in for the exchange systems. I don't know how to pronounce it. I can't pronounce it as pneumonia. But yeah, I'm usually there. So all the swarm systems. If you ever need them. Cheers, mate. To be honest, I probably would actually call you up on that one. I know now I've got to pronounce his name right. Ether has also offered his assistance as well, because Nuts asked me to go through the... Oh my God, what's going on there? Nuts asked me to go over the officer's ability for TOS Spock, and I've not been sure how to do it. So I do not regret going 39, pushing to 42. The rewards, but yes, they are better. I will say they are better. I mean, it's like, obviously, like I've mentioned, I did release a video about going to Ops 46 from 42. Yeah, your G3s are going to get left behind. But the one thing is, if you've got your research done, once you've made that jump into the 40s, if all your buildings are done, the G3 materials are literally just going to go on your ships. So you can work on them. And also, you're going to be stuck at 42 for a while, or working your way through 40, 41 to get to 42. So they're not going to get left behind per se. But yeah, you can still use them. I've only just commissioned the D4. So, and here's another one for you. So I'm going to give you another one. So, but yeah, there's not much else to say about 2022, other than the fact that we can only hope for a better 2023. Yeah, they can. If they're leveled up correctly and they're properly crewed, they can beat the G4 uncommons. So it's like you could bring your auger in. If your auger's like... Yeah, exactly. I don't know how it will stand up against my Valdor, but as a tier 6 auger. But yeah, I mean, properly crewed, you probably got a good chance, because I can't... Even my auger, Valdor, I can't get max stats on it at the minute. I need to be tier 5 or 6 to get max stats on it. So, but that's just the way it is. But anyway, so thank you everyone for coming to the stream and watching me rant about this year. Wow, that must have been a well-crewed auger, and it must have had the battleship strike team on it. To take on a 25 mil G4 rare explorer, that must have had the battleship crew on it. So if I can think of. Now you got 2 hours, but I'm about to put a 12-hour shield up, because obviously it's bedtime for me. So, but anyway, so thank you everyone for coming to the stream and going through the year's review. I hope it's been at least mildly entertaining. But anyway, so what we're going to do is to see it out tonight. The last G3 ship I have finally acquired, and I let this ring, and I just let this go. I finally have all G3 ships. Now I just need the materials to upgrade it. Anyway, this has been the Pegasus Show Live. I've been Admiral Pegasus, saying stay safe, live long and prosper, and wishing you a good night and a very happy new year. Goodbye.